Hello, everybody, and welcome to CG Rated Books. All right, well, here is a Bookish Q&A BookTube tag video. Yes, 2 in 1 week. We did one for Tag Tuesday. We did, and now I'm back for another one. I was invited into two. These were actually invitations. We were invited by Kevin Towle from Kevin Towle Reads, and I was told that this is an older tag that has been revisited. So we're going to do this one. It's called the Bookish Q&A Tag. So yes, the originator, however long ago it was, is at Lebib or Lebib. The information is kept in the comments section, so you can see their tag and visit their page. Still up and running. You can find it. Check them out. All right. So the original tag was long. This has been a revised, shortened version of the same tag. There are only 7 prompts. 7, if you're listening to me. And we're going to get them knocked out real quick. Get a little more content up on the page. And keep you guys engaged, right? All right, so prompt number 1. Right? How many prompts, questions? I like using the word prompt, but just forgive me because that's just me. That's who I am, and you know that I am not the average bookish booktuber because I do me. I do odd stuff and I will really just stay relaxed. And I'm getting more, I'm not as anxious. If you go back and watch my original videos, I got a lot of videos where I am just, just kind of and I'm trying to, operate on a script, and it's just, it's goofy. So, let's just be me. If I learn to relax, then everything works out better. So, question number 1, as we were saying, how many books is too many books in a series? All right, so for me, is there too many books in a series? Technically, no. But for me to be interested in them, sagas. If you go beyond a saga, that's usually 4 books. Trilogies are 3, sagas are 4 or more. But if you go past 4, I may lose interest. As far as reading, I might not lose interest in the title or the subject matter or the story, but I may lose interest in wanting to read them for myself because I like variety. And unless these are Quentin Tarantino stories, because they can really be multifaceted and crazy, but if it's along the same theme, I will want to break it up. 3 is actually kind of heavy for me, and actually 3 is the highest I've ever done. I am currently reading a book. Well, we're actually going to start next week because I'm still in the middle of doing The London House. I haven't finished it yet. Really? I know. Should already be done. I haven't finished it yet. But The London House, I'm still working on it, is going to be followed by The City of Ember. And The City of Ember is a 4-book, is a saga. And I do intend to read the entire saga. So it's my first one. So the response to question number 1 is 4. If you go past the saga, I might not get a hold of your book, especially if they're heavy books. You're reading something like The Lord of the Rings, or something 4 or 5, 600 pages long. Probably not going to pick them up. I read them for entertainment, and I'm more entertained on short, quick bursts. Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay. Question number 2: hardcover or paperback? Now, I literally have to say, the answer to that is both. The answer to that is both, because I like books, and it's pretty awesome when a book is crafted well. So if I want to buy a book and actually keep the book, I am more prone to purchase a hardcover special edition or a hardcover that's been nicely printed, embroidered text, raised text, imagery, bindings, what do you call it? A stitched binder, double flaps. But when it comes to reading casually, when it comes to reading every day, I tend to lean towards the paperback. So my most commonly selected is paperback. So I suppose that the answer to number 2 is paperback. And question number 3. Number three. I used to break dance when I was a kid. When I was young, I was a talented individual. Used to dance. Used to street dance. I belonged to a street dancing crew. I was the Electric King. I had this little move where my body would vibrate as I was dancing. That was my killer move. That was my signature move, the Electric King. Okay. Question number 3. The most recent. That was a real big tangent, wasn't it? The question number 3. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. You DNF. I don't DNF most books, especially recently. So the most recent book that I did not finish, only because I'm still reading it. I haven't ruled it as I'm not going to go back. But there's 3 of them. 2 of them belong to the same guy, Gene Wickman, I believe. Traction and Get a Grip. These are entrepreneur books to help the entrepreneur on how to run his business. This was required reading for work. And the reason why they were DNF'd is because we were actually living them out. We were reading them while we were applying them to restructuring of our company. But in the same sense, I was working pretty hard. I was traveling. I was working over the road, running a whole regional team. I was a regional manager at the time and training manager. And so I had a lot on my plate. And I just didn't have the time to read. So I DNF'd it because it was no longer a requirement to read. And I was so busy working, I just never got back around to reading it. But Get a Grip and is it Gene? I think it's Gino. Get a Grip and Traction by the same author. Yeah, it's Gino. Sorry, Gino Wickman. Great books. I don't know if you are an entrepreneur. Fabulous books. Really, really, really helpful information on how to learn how to identify who to delegate to, how to delegate to, how to find out the talents of the people that work underneath you. Great stuff. Really is great stuff. DNF'd. The other one, the third book, I said there was 3 of them. The third book was The History of the Christ, the Foundation of the New Testament. This was written by Adolf Schlatter, which has been translated 3 times. So Adolf Schlatter translated it into his native tongue, and then it was translated from him so that I could read it. I am not fluent in any particular language, but j'ai dû parler français pour 3 ans. I studied French for several years. If you were to leave me in France, I could probably find my way. South Korea, United States Army veteran, mi group sera mimita, right? You put me down, I'll find my way, but not fluent, just conversationalist, right? So, yeah, if you guys like that little language, I can give you a little bit. Un petit quoi. Okay. So yes, the history of the un petit pas. The history of the Christ. This book is nonfiction, uh, Bible history information about Son of God. And I'm trying to tell you, this book is very lofty, very impactful. I had a hard time finishing it because, first of all, the language was really up there. This is a highly educated individual speaking in a very higher level of dialect, and so the verbiage, and then the thoughts behind, the precepts. All of it was captivating, revolutionary, revelationary. It was crazy. You would read, and then you would like, oh my gosh, you'd pause, and your brain would just explode with the information. And you turn back to your Bible, and reread scriptures that I'm just telling you, the history of the Christ, the foundation of the New Testament by Adolf Schlatter. It's a good book. It's a good book, but it's a DNF. It's a very heavy read. Right? Question number 4, right? A book you can always reread. I'm going to give 2 of them, and because I'm on this direction already, right? Because I'm already here, I'm going to start off with, of course, the Holy Bible, right? Always. This is, they put this term in here, always. So is there a book that you can always read, reread, right? Like always. That was the thing. So it would have to be the Holy Bible, right? Because you're always learning. I can read it today and learn one thing, read the exact same thing tomorrow and learn something else. You can always reread it, right? But the other one, 2 books, Call of the Wild, the children's story version by London. Now this book was first released in like 1903 or something, right? I think it's Jack London, right? I think so. John London, London. Call of the Wild. I will always be able to read. I think I'm hoping that I still have a copy. I'm hoping I still have a copy because I haven't added it to it's a children's book. So it's not on my Goodreads list. But it is a book that I've read, just not a book that I've read and reviewed. Just a book that I've read and kept to myself, right? Some of the things that you love, you don't need to share. You don't want to share. It's my love, right? So if I love it, I'm going to love it without having to share it. Sometimes people say, oh, when you love something, you want to. No, some things you just keep to yourself. Tom Hanks used that reference in Saving Private Ryan, didn't he? He used that reference because he's like, tell me about your wife and them flowers. He said, no, I'm going to keep that one to myself. Call the Wild. Question number 5. One POV or multiple POVs? One perspective or multiple perspectives? Now this one's a hard. Am I required to pick one? I don't know. But I'm not going to. I'm going to say both because I like them both. I like in-depth, captivating, one perspective storylines, plots. I'm seeing it because I want to be able to identify with this guy. This is me. This isn't somebody that I like. This isn't a character I like. This is me. He sees things the way that I see them. I want to continue seeing the rest of the story through their eyes. But then on top of that, I like to have the multiple POVs. Bounce from one character to the next. Tell the story through dialogue, right? Not necessarily through narrative, but through dialogue, through the mindset and the eyes of different and multiple characters on the same timeline. Because now I'm going to get a different perspective and I'm going to be able to picture a more encapsulating environment, right? I can use some bigger words. So I'm going to cheat on question number 5 and say both. I don't have a preference because my preference is going to be determined by the story itself. So, cheat, both. Both. You know, you and you. And you. Why not? Why not? Question number 6. What is your least favorite book? What is it, folks? What is my least favorite book? I mean, everybody knows, right? It is Justin Torres's We the Animals, least favorite. And I'm going to leave it at that and move on to question number 7, because if I say anything more about that book, I might lose subscribers, because it's not nice to talk negatively about other people's work, even if it's deserved. Question number 7. All right, moving right along. Moving right along. Question number 7. Can you read while hearing or listening to music? Well, the answer is yes, but not for very long. I don't like it. I don't prefer it. The problem with me is I am legit a daydreamer. And I am a daydreamer that can be influenced by my environment at the drop of a hat. So much so that I'm not even going to say influenced. I'm going to say triggered. I'm listening to music. It triggers a thought or an emotion, and the story is lost. Now I'm daydreaming with a book in my hand, and I'm not daydreaming about the book in my hand. Unless I'm using it to karate chop somebody, because I'm a martial artist, and some of my daydreaming, I'm the hero, and I'll go from reading about the book and the plot and the story, and I got this author in my hands, and next thing I know, I'm the superhero, and I'm karate chopping somebody on the bridge of the nose with the spine of that book. It's got nothing to do with the book. So will I use distractions? No. I'll usually cut the radio off. I'll cut the TV off. I'll even try to have, I prefer to read in peace. Now, I will read in public, but part of reading in public when I go to the coffee shop is, part of it is the people watching. So I'll read, I'll stare at folks. Oh my gosh, what did he order? Oh my gosh, why is he wearing that? Oh, did you just see her fall down? And then I'll go back to reading. So I don't prefer distractions. I can handle them most times, but I don't prefer them. So no, even though I can, and there are times when I have, because I had to, and I wanted to really get past a certain point of this book, because a lot of times finishing a book is a matter of making sure that you continue to read the book, and that could be just a mere choice. So I want to make sure that that's something that's working for me. So I try not to have distractions. Music, TV playing, because the TV can do the same thing. I will get lost, and and then of course I'm reading, and all of a sudden the lights are flashing, and I can't see nothing on the TV, but I can see the lights and the room flickering and the colors, and all of a sudden I'll look up and, oh, that's an action scene. Now I'm daydreaming again. So it's like, yeah, let's minimize the distractions, right? Oh, that's all of them. That's question number 7. That's all of them. I am done with this video, and let's see here. Let me tag some folks. I want to tag Philip from A Poet Who Reads to Write, right? A Poet Reads to Write. That's his page. Philip, you're tagged. Pat, of course. Book Chat with Pat. Very lovely lady. Like chatting with her. Awesome lady. she's got a lot going on, and I want to tag when it comes to tagging people. I want to tag those who actually do tag. So a lot of times when I'm tagging folks, I will visit their page and see that if they've done tags in the past, because I don't want to. If you're not a tagger and I tag you, please let me know. And I won't. I'm saying I'll save my tags for somebody else. But it's very. They have wonderful libraries, and being able to know what they experience or what they like when they read. I talk to these folks, except this next young lady. Literary Layer. I'm tagging her this time. I've recently subscribed to her page. I love her content. I love her presentation. She's very detailed when it comes to her book reviews. So I am going to tag Literary Layer and hope that she chooses to participate as well. You guys have a wonderful time with this, and I do hope that you guys are having a wonderful week. We're coming to a close. Today is Friday. It's early Friday morning, and we just want to make sure that you guys are enjoying life. So anyway, those three. I'm going to tag three. I could tag more, but I'm going to tag those three. Right? So, Literary Layer, Pat, Book Chat with Pat, and, of course, Philip over there at A Poet Reads to Write. You guys have a wonderful day, and, what? Keep reading.